Hype! Hello and welcome to the United Stand live again. Didn't expect to be tonight, but this is big news and we do need to react to it. David De Gea has been subject to a £60 million bid from Real Madrid, which has been rejected by Manchester United. And I don't normally go straight to a comment off the live comments, which I should do sometimes because this is a very good one from Philo Estafanos. He says, I think it's just the beginning, to be honest, with Real Madrid. And people have been asking me and tweeting me, what is my opinion on this bid? I sort of looked at social media, especially on Twitter, and the reaction from Manchester United fans was, I would say, 80% ecstatic that we've rejected the bid. Winter is here. Up yours, Real Madrid. De Gea wants to stay. And then there was about 20% that were like, I've got a fear. I fear this. But Gillan Ballbags come back in, Balagay, and said that he can't understand why Real Madrid have done this. Clearly, De Gea is going to stay, so that means he's going to go. And obviously, it has come through from Sky Sports. £60 million, though, straight away. I mean, what I would say is £60 million. That is a record for a goalkeeper worldwide, which is exactly what it bloody well should be. I think some of us feared that it might be £40 million. £60 million for David De Gea is spot on, absolutely spot on. And the fact that it will go higher if they bid again, that is some consolation, although not much. But £60 million is... Well, he's the best goalkeeper in the world. He is the best goalkeeper in the world. But I have my concerns. And to be honest with you, I have said that David De Gea will leave Manchester United. I don't want him to go. David De Gea in between the sticks for Manchester United. Best goalkeeper in the world. I've said that consistently for a long time, that David De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world. I understand if you say Manuel Neuer, that is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But De Gea is the best in the world for me, and it'd be very, very hard to replace. But this deal worries me a hell of a lot. This bid worries me a lot, because the fact that it's gone public and it's so high, why Real Madrid would do that? I'm not saying, look, Real Madrid are an arrogant club. They could just go, we want Ander Herrera, there's 60 million. And we know we're going to go up yours. And we know Herrera wants to stay. They're not going to get any traction from it. But this is David De Gea, who was going to go 2 years ago until a fax machine broke down. He was going. He was packed his bags. He was off. So that we know that De Gea is not opposed to going back to Spain. Secondly, £60 million is a tempter. As a first offer, if you're selling a house and somebody gives you 10 grand over asking price, you're like, oh, I don't want to sell it, but bloody hell, that's at least they're coming in with a fee as a first offer. And thirdly, why would Real Madrid make this offer blind? It doesn't happen. If you follow Real Madrid, which I don't suggest you do, because they are a bit of a mercenary club with morals on the sole of your foot, but they don't tend to make bids that they're not going to get home. And I think any Real Madrid fan would tell you that. They don't tend to make bids that they're not confident about, because they don't want to expose themselves. This, for Manchester United, if it was a battle they could win, it's a big statement. If they can pull it off, it's a huge statement. No to 60 million, no to 70 million, no to 80 million, no to whatever you want to offer. We are not selling David De Gea. But the most important factor in that is that Mourinho, Manchester United, Woodward, us the fans, we want to stick it up to Real Madrid. We want to say, get stuffed, you're not having him. Offer as much money as you want, and how big we'll be Billy Big Bollocks, won't we really? Don't worry, it's post 11. We'll feel absolutely fantastic if we can say to Madrid, get stuffed, you're not having him. But there's a big but here, and that is that Real Madrid don't tend to make these sort of offers unless they've had a nod from somewhere. Now, David De Gea, to give you a little bit of background, his agent is Jorge Mendes, obviously the same agent as Jose Mourinho, so it's a little bit different. Real Madrid and Jorge Mendes don't have a bad relationship. James Rodriguez, Ronaldo, all his clients, to name just a few, so he's got a good relationship with Real Madrid. But Mourinho is his star client, so he's not going to want to screw Manchester United over. I don't think this is a blindside deal at all. I think this has been well crafted by Real Madrid. They'll have had the nod, and they'll have made the first bid. I personally feel this is the beginning of the end of David De Gea at Manchester United, and I really, really hope that I'm wrong. I really, really do. But it's just, as Simon Wright said, it's going to be a long summer. Well, look, do you want to lose David De Gea in August, or do you want to lose him at the start of the summer? I suppose from Manchester United's point of view, we don't want to lose him at all. But if we are going to lose him, then at the start of the summer is probably the right time for that to happen, isn't it? But I don't want it to happen. But I just feel that 60 million's a good bid. It is. If they're going to go higher, we're going to get good money for him. But money is not what we want. I wanted to say that. Look, let's go on the defensive here. Look, don't, whatever you do, start giving crap to Real Madrid fans saying, we've rejected him, you're not going to get him. It's way too early for that. There is hope, and if you believe it and hold on to that feeling, that's fantastic. But I do feel this is the beginning of the end. The fact that Real Madrid, they don't make bids that they don't think they're going to get home and not allow it to be public as well. I would suggest, and this is the way the football world works, this is not a shock to David De Gea, this bid. This is not a shock to Jose Mourinho or Manchester United. How Manchester United react to it and how David De Gea reacts to it is key. And I would, you know what? In many ways, it's a taste of your own medicine because this is Pogba revisited. This is Pogba revisited. It's not quite Griezmann because there's a buyout clause there, but this is Pogba revisited. Juventus not wanting to lose Pogba, but big offer comes in. Now, what does Pogba do? Stroke De Gea. Does he push for the move or does he say, I want to stay? If De Gea wants to stay, happy holidays and up yours to Real Madrid. But if he wants to go, look at it. Just look. Think about it. Think what Ander Herrera said in the international break in March. We want De Gea to stay, but it's not guaranteed. He's one of his best mates at Manchester United. Think about David De Gea being left out of the Europa League final, our biggest game in the last 3 years, and our best goalkeeper doesn't play out of sentimentality for Romero. I think all this has been a coaxing exercise by Mourinho to try and get him to commit, which he won't do. Akash Goring's made a contribution through the Super Chat. Thanks for that. I think he will go. But don't hate me for it. Don't hate me for it, because if he does stay, nobody will be more happy than me. You know how angry I was that he didn't play in the Europa League final, because I felt this was the end of De Gea, and I thought he deserved better than that. He's been a fantastic servant to us. Whatever happens with this deal, he's been a fantastic servant to us. He's been our player of the year for 2-3 years. Absolute consummate professional. Best goalkeeper in the world. I don't want him to go. It will hurt. It will hurt as much as when Ronaldo went, because I didn't want him to go either. And I don't like Real Madrid. I don't like what they stand for. But he has been a fantastic servant for us. And if it is family and it is about building a life in his native Spain, I can't hate him. I can't stand in his way. I just don't want him to go. But if he does go, £60 million, if that's the starting point, we'll probably get about 70 million for him. If we're getting 70 million pounds for David De Gea, I would say, and I don't know what you lot would say, well, we're getting some breaking news coming in from Nicholas Anderson. Thank you for this, Nicholas, and thank you for the super chat. He says James Ducker has reliably been told no bid from Real Madrid. And this is the danger. This is the danger. We're sort of like in balance now, aren't we? We're reacting to something from Sky Sports like people reacted to Sky Sports 2-3 weeks ago about James Rodriguez coming to Manchester United. We had Gundogan a year ago. Paul has a 90 on Twitter, fantastic account to follow. He tweeted about 3 hours ago, I don't even follow Sky Sports anymore. They're not the place to get information from, and they are consistently wrong. Are they wrong again? We're right to react to it, but are they wrong again? James Ducker's not bad on Twitter. Maybe there's no bid. But flip it the other way. Maybe there's no bid, but maybe this is fed. Maybe this is being fed in. Who works for Sky Sports and who hates Manchester United? Gillan Ballbag. Is he starting it? Is he troublemaking again? He started the James Rodriguez thing, didn't he? You just don't know. Has there been a bid? Hasn't there been a bid? But what I would say is transfers and the way they work, this information doesn't come out for nothing. It doesn't come out for nothing. And whether the bid's gone in or not, is it unsettling De Gea? Simon Stone from BBC saying United unaware of bid. So it looks like there's no official bid, but the fact that the media have got hold of it and Sky Sports have got hold of it, there's something going on there. I would say it's Real Madrid sort of starting the process, those first sort of steps of unsettling De Gea. But going back to the point, I would say this. £60 million, that's in the press. If it's not come from United, it's come from Madrid. If it's come from Madrid, £60 million, that is not a bad starting offer if we're going to lose him anyway. But I don't want the money. I don't know what you lot think, but I do not want the money from Real Madrid. I want players. Money's nothing to Manchester United. If we get 80 million from De Gea, every other club we're going to buy from is going to chuck 20 million on top, because they do for Manchester United anyway. So if they're going to take De Gea offers, we've got to get something in return. And in relation to Real Madrid, there are numerous options there that would make us a better team. We're going to lose De Gea anyway if it happens. There are numerous players at Real Madrid that would make us a better team. Varane, Ramos, either of those two, fantastic. We need a centre-back. Cruz in the midfield, Bale, Ronaldo, James Rodriguez, Isco, any of them make us a better team. They improve us as well. There's also the Brazilian centre defensive midfielder whose name has just completely slipped me, which I normally do know. But yeah, him as well. So there's loads of options at Real Madrid. It's not like we're shopping at Liverpool. This is a proper team with proper talent, and I don't want money from Real Madrid. If Real Madrid are going to take De Gea, the best goalkeeper in the world, then we've got to take them for something, 100%. Mark Crisp says, why not swap him for Oblak? I don't really think that he wants to go back and play for Atletico Madrid. Do you? Player and some change would be a good deal, says the Rampage Gamer. I'd agree with that. Brandon Harding says, Mark, De Gea probably wants to go. Let's get as much money as possible for him and take him to the cleaners. Well, yeah, I do. As much as I love De Gea, I do feel that he wants to go back to Spain. I'm not even going to say the words he wants to go to Real Madrid, because I don't think that that's the factor here. I think he wants to go back to Spain, and if you're going back to Spain, he's from Madrid. He's not going to go to Atletico Madrid. Because he's, you know, his career is evolving. He started off at Atletico Madrid. He did very well. He came to a bigger club in Manchester United. He's done very well. He's now one of the world's best goalkeepers. I'd say the best goalkeeper. He wants to go back to Madrid. Real Madrid is the option. He'll be getting booed in no time. He will get booed in no time. That's what happens. Casemiro, Biggie J, thanks for that. Bucala the Legend says 60 million and Bale for De Gea. Yeah. I stopped listening to gossip in tabloids and TV years ago. It's what makes them money and ads to agents pay packets if big clubs and transfers are happening, says Eddie O'Neill. Yes, I do agree with that, Eddie, but Sky Sports, a lot of us pay Sky Sports subscriptions to watch football. When they come out with a breaking headline that there's been a bid of £60 million for David De Gea, you've got to react to it as a United fan channel. Of course we've got to discuss it as United fans, but I really do appreciate those two comments coming in, especially from journalists such as James Ducker and Simon Stone, who are saying, look, we're not aware of this bid. But I would agree with what Eddie was saying there. This will have been fed to Sky. Balaguer is very close to Sky. Balaguer has got Spanish connections and he hates Manchester United, so he would gladly feed this out and start the ball rolling. But the fact is, whether the official bid for De Gea has gone in or not, this is the start of the ball rolling in relation to Real Madrid getting De Gea out of Manchester United. It's all going to come, if De Gea doesn't want to go, Manchester United, why would they let him go? We don't need the money. We're not, like I say, we're not an Arsenal or something like that. We've got Champions League football. We're the richest club in the world. We don't need to sell. It's just if the player wants to force it. And Callum, yes, I did say De Gea is better than Noor, but I agree. I believe in that. Of course I believe in that. If you think Noor's better, that's your prerogative, isn't it? Jay Velez, I hope he stays with us through our Champions League campaign. And Alfie De Boss says De Gea is one of our key players. We need to keep him. And De Herrera said he will stay. Noor is a big name. Wouldn't say he's better. The great. I'd agree with that. I mean, Noor plays in a pub league for 80% of the time. German league's not very strong. De Gea's bloody kept us out of a relegation battle for the last few years, apart from this season. I mean, he's been immense. Absolutely immense. And Kyle Summers says, I don't care about the amount they pay as long as we get a player in return, preferably Bale, which I totally agree with. As long as we get a player in return, that's all that matters. Look, thanks everybody. I didn't intend to be live for that long tonight. It literally was finished at the 8:30 show. Bit of a bath, bit of family time, trying to have a little bit of rest because I've got a bit of a cold, and then started getting messages about De Gea. And we've got to react to that sort of news. We've got to react to that sort of news. I'm not going to react to some journalists saying we're close to Fabinho or anything like that. Look, it needs to be stronger than that. But when it's an official bid that apparently has come in, which maybe we've managed to dispel live on air, but I certainly do think it's the start from Real Madrid, and they don't start something unless they've, it's a bit like United and Pogba. We didn't start that Pogba stuff last year without getting the nod from Pogba that he wanted to come, and that's the way the modern world works. It is illegal. You're not meant to tap players up like that. But to be honest, it goes on in every bit of business, doesn't it? You don't start going for something if you know you've got no chance of getting it. And they'll have had the nod from De Gea, to be honest. Thanks, everybody. Back tomorrow at 7 a.m. with more transfer news. God knows what else will come in. But thanks, everybody. Really enjoyed it. Drop a like. Don't enjoy the De Gea news, but it's not a surprise to me. I do think he'll go. It'd be the signing of the summer if we can keep him. I really hope we can. But I've got to be consistent with what I've said for the last few weeks. I think he's gone. And I've accepted that. But I'll be gutted when he does go. I feel sad even now. I'll be gutted when he does go. I love De Gea. Fantastic player. But I think this is the beginning of the end. I hope I'm wrong. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all very soon. If you are new to the United Stand, please subscribe, get involved. Got a fantastic community. Live comments as ever, absolutely brilliant. Over 2,000 of you watching 11 o'clock at night. Absolutely amazing. Can't do it without you. You drive us on, and the opinions you give are fantastic. So really, really thanks for that. It was spur of the moment. You never know when we're going to be spur of the moment, do you? Thanks everyone. Speak to you at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and have a nice evening. Thanks for watching.